Merry Christmas. I
Merry
mean, it's
Christmas.
coming up, but
Yeah.
did we finish all our stuff? We did finish all our stuff.
All the stuff is done.
And he didn't see a thing,
Nope.
which was
Nope.
amazing.
And neither did you.
I did not. I have no idea what he's getting, but that's why I have a wonderful wife that does all that stuff for me. So
I mean, you have an idea because I'm
Fire.
like, hey, how about this? Hey, how about this? And whatever. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. But no, I took care of everything, and everything is wrapped too. So
I know we've done that before where we stayed up till like midnight and wrap stuff, and it's just it's insane. So
yeah.
What else? We had a good week. Talked to Lauren Khalil. That was really fun.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
She was really cool.
Yeah, she shared a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you don't think, I don't know if you don't think that she would share a lot, but she's just kind of like a private person. But lately she has been like, well, I guess when she comes and hangs out with us, she likes to tell us the truth. So
yeah, she hangs out.
Yeah, she shares it all. And then if you saw her story, like, I mean, she gets some crazy people in her DMs, and I can only imagine the stuff that she doesn't share that she actually gets.
Oh God.
So
to get married for a green card, that thing. Yeah. You saw that. You showed me that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was like, people will ask. I mean, what's the worst someone's going to tell them is no. And she was like, yeah, no, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even imagine getting that in my DM, but then also, whatever, not telling that story. I'll tell that story a different day. Hey, Kenneth, what's up, dude? Wrapped your presents last night. Yeah. Like I said, we've done that thing where we were up until midnight. We never, ever want to do that again.
Well, we did that mostly when he was younger. Like you would build like his big stuff.
Yeah.
When we used to get all this big stuff for him and whatever, like I would wrap everything out. You would put the big stuff together because obviously we're not going to keep it or whatever. Oh yeah, real quick. Shout out to Vindicate. We got our new swag. So thank you.
Christmas.
I got the Christmas shirt too.
That's cool.
Yeah. So thank you, Vindicate, for these. But you would build all the big stuff because obviously we're not going to put it in a big box and, you know, wrap the box. So we would put a couple things together. You would do that. And then I would wrap everything else. But we also, I'm not sure if I've shared this with you guys before, but we also do a Santa bag. So I found a Santa bag years ago at TJ Maxx. And so he gets presents from Santa and he gets presents from mommy. So the presents that are wrapped outside of the bag are from mommy. And then whatever's inside the bag comes from Santa. So those presents are ready for that, which makes it nice when, like, so I don't have to wrap everything. So
you've made it to the Pokemon phase. I find that so funny because that was kind of when we were young. I don't know how that's still like a humongous thing. Like he's in Sonic right now. He loves Sonic and it's everything Sonic.
Yep.
That's his focus right now.
That is the only thing that he loves. I took him to the new Sonic 3 movie.
Yeah.
You know, I died for 2 days and 2.5 days and somehow managed to feel better on Friday morning when because we had been planning it and I promised him that I would take him out half day of school and start the vacation early and we would go and we went to our big marquee cinema that is in the IMAX theater.
Yeah, IMAX.
On the island. So like it's a drive away for us. It's, you know, about an hour away. And I told them that we were going to make this whole big thing. And then of course I get the plague and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, you know, to be able to do this for him. But I don't know how I managed to do it, but I managed to do it. And we went and it's such a good movie. I won't spoil it for you, Kenneth, but it's a really, really good movie. It's awesome.
Then we had Tucker on. That dude's always super fun.
Yeah.
He's willing to talk about anything. He does not give a crap. I feel like we could have went another half hour, 45 minutes, and that would have been really cool. But you know, wife, family, 5 kids. So
yeah.
But he had a lot of good insights as an affiliate owner, and
he's just a really cool dude.
Yeah, like as a businessman, affiliate owner, an athlete, a father, a husband, like
Yeah.
it was really cool. He was a good dude.
The coolest thing is like how they manage it and how they make it work. And it's nice because obviously social media, we share what we share. And 9 times out of 10, we're sharing the best parts of, you know, parenthood and
Yeah.
everything. Like we usually share all the good stuff. And very rarely do we share the shit that hits the fan. And it's just nice for him to, you know, say, yeah, like life is life and it's real, you know, and not every day is a good day. And we take the highs when we have them, but the lows are pretty low too, you know? So
Yeah.
it's cool to be reminded that we're literally all human and we do the best that we can. And we have those days where it's great. And then we have those days where it's a tough day.
We are seeing Sonic this week, bringing the blue snacks and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah, he had the whole outfit on. He was head to toe Sonic.
I got him new swag.
Yeah, sweatpants and whatever. So he was fire in it.
Yeah.
It was cool. But what else? The rest of the week we saw, I caught up on a lot. I got to catch up on a lot of stuff, and I learned a phrase this go around that I watched the Twins podcast. They're I don't know, it's called the Twins Pod, and I followed them for a long time on IG and on their YouTube channel. And they're two mixed brothers. They're literally twins, and I think their dad is white and their mom's black. And they started talking about something called black fatigue, and I feel like it just that comment or that like movement sort of thing leans to like everybody's sick of being called racist or homophobic or um you know, whatever the case may be, like any random thing to cancel you, like everybody's just kind of fatigued. Like we're over it. We don't want to, like, we're not. That's not what we're trying to do. Nobody's trying to do that. So, oh, any drones around, y'all? We're on the east end of Long Island. Hey, Aaron Fraser. We're on the east end of Long Island. So, no, we haven't seen it. I know Jethro has. If you've listened to Sebon's podcast, Jethro always calls in and talks about it. He is more towards the city Nassau County. So he's seen it. We haven't seen anything out here. So it's literally probably just the city and Jersey that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was interesting when
these are the twins right here.
Yeah.
These are
they're fire. They started their Instagram with like working out and whatever, and then they started to become political. And so they started talking, and it's just interesting to me because it kind of falls in my general spectrum. But when they started talking about that, it was like, yeah, dude, like I'm super tired of it. Like it's not a thing. And then I found this reel that really kind of, it's called Dear White People. There was a Netflix thing. Netflix did it, and they had Dear White People, the Trend twins. I don't know if they're on Trend. I mean, they look like they could be, you know what I mean? Like they're big dudes. So, but yeah, I found this. I wanted to go through this because I just thought it would be funny.
Yes, Aaron.
Aaron, damn, is Long Island. Yeah, it's big.
Yes.
Everything
takes about 45 minutes to an hour in each direction. Like it's huge.
It's a big spot.
Mm-hmm.
But so I saw this, wanted to throw this up. This is probably going to be not what. Hold on. Damn. Okay. So let's go through this just because I'm going to clip that. Yeah, kind of for real, tip to tip. It's probably about not in traffic, tip to tip. It's probably like 2.5 hours. That's what she said.
Damn.
But this clip, Dear White People, this kind of got me, and I had feelings after it.
I don't even know where to start. In between my busy schedule comprised entirely of surviving white America, there is simply no time to write letters. Besides, any letter I write would most likely bring tears to your eyes, and I, for one, have had my fill of white tears. There are days.
So First of all, you don't have time because white America somehow is taking up your time. Why is white America taking up your time? Shouldn't be taking up your time. I feel like you have more than enough time. Like, what is it with white people? Because this is called Dear White People. So
Mhm.
what is it with white people that is taking up the majority of your time? And then also, white tears? What?
Yeah, because I'm confused.
And like writing letters. I'm assuming she's saying writing letters to like her congressman and shit. And we're no longer worth her ink. So then why is this long ass monologue happening then? Like if you don't want to explain it to us, you don't want to write letters, you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to explain it, you don't want white people to cry, then why are we having this long ass monologue on a stage being streamed? I don't understand it. But okay, we'll continue on. Hey CK, what's up, dude?
I think you aren't worth my ink. That your whiteness is draining me of too much energy. Can't give you a taste of the tea for fear you'll colonize the whole kitchen.
Your whiteness is taking up too much of her energy? What does that mean? What does that even mean? And we're taking up the whole kitchen, which I mean that goes into a whole nother monologue, but just the fact that like our whiteness is taking up too much of her energy. Because nobody's race is taking up too much of my energy at all. Like my day goes along just fine. And I've said this throughout every single political conversation that we've ever had. Whoever won, whether it was Trump or whether it was Kamala, my day was still going to go about my day.
Mm-hmm.
My life wasn't over for whoever won the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
It was just okay. Like Kamala won, fine. Trump wins, yay.
Right. Like, okay, what's next?
But
We have to wait
your
and see what
whole day
happens.
still has to happen. You still have to like get up, get your kid up, go send him to school, go do all these things. Like nothing. What is happening to you because Trump won? Nothing has happened at all.
No, we need to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
And again, like you and I were talking about earlier, there's a lot of stories going around and there's a lot of information going around that like he's going to do things that he said he wasn't going to do. But again, we have to wait and see what happens. Like are we going to expend our energy thinking of all of the worst case possible things that can happen before anything actually happens? Like he can't do anything right now.
Yeah, there's nothing
Like he's not in power right now. So
and he didn't do anything the last time he was in power. Nothing happened.
So I mean, like, are we gonna live in the fear of what's gonna happen? Or are we gonna wait and see what happens?
Aaron Fraser, what, you don't care about the color of a patron's skin that comes into the deli? Well, this comes up next. This will be the next part because it's like they're mad. Like she's mad if I don't see color because I should see color, but if I see color, then I'm racist. So it's always been for me, if you're a good person, you're a good person. If you're a shit person, then you're a shit person. Like whatever. But yeah, no, she'll get there. But hold on, we're about to colonize a whole kitchen. So here we go.
But today, I am too angry to remain silent. Dear white people, stop making everything about you and how uncomfortable you are. I honestly don't give a flying fuck about your comfort level. You have made my very existence an exercise in discomfort. It is time.
Uncomfortable? What? How did I make your existence or when did I say I was uncomfortable? Never. Hey Craig, what's up, dude? Never said that your existence was uncomfortable. or that like talking about slavery or talking about history or talking about Jim Crow or talking about slave ships from Africa or talking about any of that was uncomfortable. We learned all of that in school. Did we not? I learned it in school. Learned about the Holocaust, we learned about everything in school. I'm not uncomfortable with it. I don't know, like maybe it is the far right that's putting out this narrative of I'm uncomfortable with talking about like history, but it's history. To me, it's not Black history, it's just history. That's what happened. Bless you. I
Thank
know.
you.
You're
We're here.
but that's
here.
it was just history. So but she's really mad. And even if like, and you can see it in her, she's really mad. And even if what she's trying to do, well, I can't imagine she's even trying to do this. I can't imagine that she's even trying to bring us together and explain anything. Like if her whole thing is dear white people. If she wanted to talk to white people, like this is what is going to bring us all together.
Well, this goes back to
Yeah, just go watch Remember the Titans. Yeah. There's like 2 scenes in Remember the Titans that like it just fires you up on all cylinders. Yeah.
again, it makes it's interesting to me because there is such a generalized conversation, I guess, that's going on when we see things like this woman is speaking to, or you see the other side speaking to. And my question is like, are you like, is it towards an individual, or is it literally everybody, even people that you don't know? Because I cannot change everybody.
Yeah.
I am not responsible for everybody. I cannot stop somebody. I cannot stop other people. I cannot, like, I am one person and I am responsible for myself. So I think it's hard to maybe make the point. Oh, wow. I'm doing a lot of things
You're doing
over
a lot.
here. I think it's hard to get everybody to listen to statements, conversations, monologues like this woman is doing, because you're trying to lump everybody into the same category, the same way that you're asking to not be lumped into a singular category. So I am not doing what she is.
Well, no, keep going. She's saying it's time to make room at the table. So she wants white people now to make room at the table.
Yes. But what does that look like?
Okay, hold on.
Time for you to make room at the table. Better yet, go sit in the living room. I'm not here to coddle your feelings, not here for your amusement. No, you cannot touch my hair.
Okay. So she doesn't want us to sit at the table. She doesn't. She wants us to go into another room, and she wants to have the table, and white people go sit in a different room. And then her hair conversation, like, okay, fine. I can remember that. I can remember when I was little, and I can remember when I had the big, like, bear ponytail ears or whatever, and people would be like, oh my God, your hair is amazing. Can I touch it? Like, whatever. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It was never a big thing to me. And also, I can also remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, when there were boy bands, and every single boy band had a dude with spiky gel hair. And I wanted to touch that. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be like, hey, how'd you get your hair that way?
Can I share personal experience?
Sure.
People compliment and want to touch my hair all the time.
Yeah, because you're a redhead, and no one's seen that shit either.
So I get, when I hear that, I remember being pregnant and this, like, and we've talked about this before.
Mullet perm, let's go. Yeah, like, yeah.
Like when people see a pregnant woman, it's this, like, instinctual reaction to just want to touch somebody's belly. Like whether it's like, oh my God, there's a baby in there. Oh my God, congratulations. I remember what that feels like. I wish I could have that. Like, I'm so happy for you, you know, whatever the case may be. But there's this like instinctual feeling of like, I want to touch a pregnant woman's belly. I experienced that as a pregnant woman. I had people that I didn't know that would walk up to me that would never walk up to me for any other reason other than the fact that I was pregnant, and they touched my belly or wanted to touch my belly. And so I get that notion of like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't know who you are, like personal space. If you want to, congratulations goes a long way. You look fantastic goes a long way. Like,
just the funny thing is that that's a narrative I've heard my entire life, right? Like I'm supposed to be left leaning. I'm supposed to be all these things because of this, because white people want to touch my hair. I've never heard that in my adult life. Like childhood, sure, I remember that. And I know that my sister, my younger sister than me, has had that happen to her, but her hair is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Like she just has gorgeous hair, and it's big and curly, and
when she has it long,
when
like,
it's, and so I get it. People are like, "Oh my God, look at that girl's hair." I get it. She's got gorgeous hair. But
when did that stop being okay? When did it stop being okay to compliment somebody on their beauty, on their hair?
Yeah.
Like when did that stop being a thing?
Yeah, yeah, for Colleen's thing, I never understood why people think
Craig, same.
they have the right to touch a
Same.
pregnant woman's belly. Yeah, I don't get that either.
Same.
I've heard a lot of pregnant women's stories across the board that say that. And it's
And
like,
even some people take it as far as feeling like they are entitled to touch someone's baby.
yeah, that's
We
not.
experienced that before, where we were at a store and a woman
Yeah,
tried to get
into our stroller.
and I promptly
Yeah,
right away
face bombed
and
her.
whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. I don't know why. I'm gonna go back to her. She's
Yeah.
got a lot more to say, but I don't know why that's a thing. But I was taught that from a very young age, that like if a white person asks you to touch your hair, like that's completely wrong. Like that's a. But what if a black person wanted to touch my hair? Am I supposed to be okay with that? I mean, I'm half black, so it's cool.
I would say, yeah.
That's fine. What if I
would-
just don't want anybody to touch me at all?
I think that's a
So then if I do that, is everybody racist?
that's
Because you want to touch a mixed kid's hair? Can I just, do I have that right? Can just everybody be racist if they want to touch my hair because I'm a mixed kid?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Like, what are we doing?
That's the thing. I mean, and someone I saw a reel that they were asking about hairstyles and how black women don't like it when white women wear braids of any sort, even just the braid that I have in now.
Cornrows, box braids, even the
Cornrows.
Viking braids. Yeah.
Yeah, these are Dutch braids.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And this is a braid. And the guy was asking why, and they were like, because it's our style, it's for us only, and whatever. And the guy literally looks at her and goes, "But you're wearing a wig."
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to wear a wig? And he's like, y'all wear blonde wigs and brown wigs and
blue eye contacts.
Like he's like, so what's okay for one is not okay for the other.
And also, nobody else ever in the history of the planet figured out how to make braids ever at any time during our history. There's no other culture anywhere that figured out how to make braids during the 1300s or the 1500s. No one else did. Like, what? But okay, no, here we go. There's a little bit more.
Okay.
Well, I mean, she talks for a while, but also,
okay,
you know, she doesn't care, but she'll talk forever for this.
This isn't in a damn petting zoo, and stop coming into my office asking for the managers if you aren't already looking at one. Dear white people.
So what she's saying is that at no point does it.
Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. And this is now, dude. Like this was just put up one day ago by Billy fucking Porter, who, by the way, I
Oh.
was humongous fan of forever, and now I can't even watch anymore because it's ridiculous. It's like D.L. Hughley at this point. You just can't.
Stop telling me about this colorblind society you allegedly live in. Telling me you don't see race is the racist drivel I hope you choke on. Telling me you respect me but don't see my color is like saying you have to pretend I'm not black in order to respect me.
Who said that? Who said that?
But that's the thing. When we said don't see race and all lives matter, and that's racist. But now all of a sudden we have to see color. What just happened? Like, you just told us forever that if we see race, we're racist. Now, if we don't see color and we just like deal with you based on your character, we're racist. So which one do you want? Because I'm tired. I'm fatigued. Like I don't got it anymore. The manager's statement was hilarious. Yeah, like
that's the thing. Like, we have all been trying to play. We've all been trying to figure this out and navigate this and go follow everything. Okay, well, you can't do this. Okay, I can see where they're coming from. But then if I can't do this, then that means I must do this. But no, you can't do this, because if you do this, then there's all of this list of shit that you are.
Yeah.
So, but you can't hang in the middle, because you got to take a stance.
Right.
And the only stance that you can take is hating yourself, because the only stance that I can take is hating myself because I'm white.
Right.
The only stance that I can take is hating myself because I'm white, because of the awful things that generations before me did.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not enough, because then I need to do all these things, but I'm fucking tired.
Yeah. Again,
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm just
all right, let's finish her
tired.
up. She's about to go through her last little thing, and then we'll go into the other stupid ass thing that Billy Porter put up that is just exhausting as well.
But let me assure you, I am black, though there are plenty of things I'm not, like your sassy black friend. Stop.
Yes, you are black, and forever you've been wanting us to greet you as yes queen, that you've been wanting us to greet you as hey girl. You've been we've done this. That was everybody's funny friend, right? Like that's what you did. Even in the gay community. Yes, girl, yes, queen, hey. Like that's so now we don't like it anymore. We're not there anymore.
Everybody does it to each other.
We're not there. That's not acceptable.
It used to be a sign of endearment, of like,
it's not
hun or babe or this or chick or whatever. Like, you can't say any of that anymore.
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Saying, hey girl, when you see me, you ain't that slick. I hear the way you talk to Becky and Steve every day. You sound like Vacation on Martha's Vineyard, where you waded in the bitter blue of the Atlantic. How I wish my toes could touch the ocean without stepping on the bones of my ancestors. Dear white teachers, why don't I know who my ancestors are? Why is only one part of my history important enough to teach? And for the love of God, stop swiveling your heads every time slavery is mentioned.
When were teachers swiveling their head every time slavery was mentioned? I did so many book reports on slavery. I did a whole thing on Harriet Tubman. Like, I did a whole thing on The Color Freaking Purple, the original one. I did a whole thing on Huckleberry Finn and Jim. Like, I did a whole thing on that. When did we, what teachers? Because if it's the woke progressive teachers that are doing it, who are on her side, obviously, then you're yelling at your own side. because the teachers I had didn't do that. We talked about it. We talked about books. We discussed books. We discussed our book reports. Like, I don't, the teachers that she's talking about sound like the teachers that are on her side. And I'm so sorry. Identity politics are so annoying. And this is a whole other section where they eat their own. They just do. She's not talking about like teachers I'm friends with or teachers that I know or teachers that are teaching my kid. She's talking about those teachers that are teaching gender identity. And they're like, they don't want to talk about slavery and they don't want to talk about what happened to Black people or Native Americans or like all of the
No.
religious wars.
No, they do, but from only one perspective.
Yeah.
They want to, but they want to push the one side. And so I will agree to a point that when I was taught about slavery, it came from white people enslaving Black people.
Yeah.
That's how it was portrayed. But there was never any conversation about other cultures enslaving their own people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
no, that's
if you see it that way and you learn it that way, which is how I learned it, you could, okay, I get that. I get that there were awful white people that enslaved Black people and they did awful things. So I get that. But you want the history, then tell the history. Tell the whole history.
Oh, you're saying they're not telling the whole history.
I'm saying that if we're going to talk about the history and you want
Oh,
all
shit.
of history
Okay. Go, girl.
to be shared, then we need to talk about the history. And you make a good point, and we've talked about this in our own life. Communities eat their own.
Yeah.
The gay community right now, we're all is eating their own. The autism community
Eating their own.
eating their own.
Yep.
We all talk about that we want to be part of a community. We all talk about that we want to do this and we want to be there for each other and whatever, but you have to fit very specific criterias in most every situation that you're in. Why do you think that many people don't associate with that many people anymore? Because I don't want to have to sit here and be in such a small, minute fucking box to be a perfect person for you to be like, I'm enough to you, for you to have it, for me to be a part of your life, to you. Like, who wants to live like that?
Yeah.
So when you're asking me to fight with you or fight for you and support you, but then you're telling me that there's 50 fucking things that I have to do every single fucking day. And I can't stray from that at all. And I can't ask you questions and I can't wonder and I can't be like, hey, what if we try this way or change your mind or not change your mind, but like change my mindset and do my own. If I do any of that, I've already crossed the line. Yeah. I'm already out. So what is the fucking point? Like, what is the point?
I guess you're fatigued.
I'm fucking tired. And I say this, we need to start looking at individual singular experience that is going on, because I am not doing what I am being accused of doing.
Okay. Well,
simply by walking down the fucking street.
She's speaking in poetic style. I wonder if she's in character. Yeah. The chick that I just had up there. Yeah, for sure. Craig Paisley, good and bad history and memories are deeply rooted in our culture, but it's important that we explore them in open and honest discussions. And that's just what I'm saying. It's just like when what's her face from The View found out that she came from Sunny. When Sunny found out that she came from Spanish slave owners, she didn't know what to do with herself.
She was
shocked.
Like,
yeah.
Crowbar, my trigger? Yeah, I had some feelings.
Yeah. It's like you don't know what to do with yourself, but you want to they just want to put everybody in a box. So you have to adhere to whatever their rules are. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. it's not black and white like that. Black and white, but it's just not.
How many? Yeah, I'm
Okay,
fucking
no,
tired.
it's fine. No, because we're gonna get into one more that's gonna make you even more fucking tired, just so we can go through
All right.
our own people. And this was kind of this just annoyed me because it's like, again, what are you supposed to do? You're making the people that you want to be on your side kind of have no answer to you. If you want white people to listen to you and to understand you and to talk to you, and then you tell them that they have to go sit in another room, isn't that what you think that white people did to you? And look how well that worked out. So we are you
Are
just
we
gonna,
trying to do things differently? Are we
or are we
trying?
not?
Are we trying to change the world? Are we trying to do
Yeah.
better than before?
But-
Or are we just gonna consistently play the blame game? Like,
Yeah.
are we just gonna point the finger at?
Because you
at
can
people?
blame everybody forever.
Yeah,
There's
of
no end
course.
to it.
Mhm.
You can all those feuds from the, like, you can just keep going back to the McCoys and the I forget the other side, but you can just
Hatfields.
Hatfields, yes. The Hatfields and the McCoys. You can just keep going back through generations and generations and just keep this shit going, and it's fine. It's never going to be anything. But or do you want it to stop and maybe just, there's no white tears out here anymore, dude. Like there's just not. It's
I feel like that for some people that the message is being lost because people are tired.
nobody puts baby in a corner. I think that's you.
Is that me, Kenneth? Is that me? I think if there's a message that they're trying to portray,
Yeah. It's not going to come across with that.
the meaning is being lost.
Yeah.
Because people are sitting up here and being blamed for things that they have not personally done. And again,
Look, as far as I'm concerned, I hope that Staten Island bakery sues the fuck out of Whoopi Goldberg. And I was like one of the biggest Whoopi Goldberg fans ever. Like, I loved her forever.
Sister Act are still my favorite, are some of my favorite movies.
I loved her. I was a big fan of hers forever. And like, I hope that that bakery sues the shit out of her. Like, I just do. It's sorry, but that you're fucked up for that. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to beat up on the little guy just because you felt small that day. Wasn't necessary.
I mean,
You're worth $60 million. You're really worried about your fucking cupcakes for your birthday. Yeah, like,
I think,
come on.
I think it just goes back to the concept of if, like, go somewhere else.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Oh, go ahead.
no, it's go ahead. It's fine.
Fatigue. There's fatigue happening. I'll call it liberal fatigue. There's liberal fatigue going on. This is another one. This one like destroyed my brain as well. And I just looked at it and I was like, oh my God, what are we doing as a community? And it's like so sad because it's Billy Porter and he was in Pose, and Pose was like,
I still think Pose is a great,
it's a great depiction.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenal series. I think the job that they did and all the actors that were in it, I think for the type of show that it was and how I love that show, and I think it's still such a great show.
The eras that they showed in it, I absolutely, I'm like, okay, I
Yep.
get it. And
Huge fan of the
yeah.
show. Huge
and
fan of the
he
show.
just turned into, I don't know what happened, but he just turned into Nobody Matters but Rainbow. And it's like, and he doesn't, you can tell he's literally only voting for Rainbow. He's literally only voting for trans. That's his, like, whatever. And so everything he posts has to do with Black and trans.
Mhm.
And this is crazy because I listened to this and I was like, oh, dude, have you ever even been in the gay community or have you just always been in the trans community? Like, I'm so because this was not how. All right, here we go. And this is really.
Let's deconstruct some harmful theology.
There are only two pronouns. How can we support anything non-binary?
First of all, it's non-binary, not whatever the hell he just said.
How can we support anything
He said non-binary.
non-binary when the scripture says in the beginning he made them male and female?
I'm going to address how unsmart this is in a moment, but first, let me address the callousness. You mean to tell me you spent quiet time in reflection with the Lord, and this is what God laid on your heart? God and
Yes, because there is men and there's women. Like, whatever. We've talked about this before where it comes to just dressing. If you want to dress a different way, that's fine. But no matter which way, no matter what clothes you put on, you're male or female. Like that's it.
inspired you to spend a portion of your sermon denying the existence of a whole group of people. See, this is why.
Who did he deny? What group of people did that dude deny? He said God created man and God created woman. What group of people did he deny? He didn't say gays don't exist. He didn't say transgender people don't exist. Because transgender people are either male or female. So he didn't say they didn't exist.
Black people can't have shit because black fundamentalists are too busy oppressing our own.
Nobody said anything about
Nobody
race.
said anything about race.
Nobody said anything
There
about
was
race.
nothing said about race. He literally was talking about God made man, God made woman. In no point in time did homeboy bring up race.
Based on their identity. That's exactly what white supremacy does to us. It oppresses us based on our identity. And the fact that people like Philip spread messages like this all over the internet confirms for me that we don't believe in the same God. And
So we're going to bring it back to white supremacy and race again, right? And white supremacy oppresses people based on their identity. And okay, fine. I don't know. I'm not a white supremacist. Like racism, whatever. That's horrible. But like his argument is for the LGBTQ and somehow it gets to race, which is the thing for me that is like the most annoying thing. Being gay is a sexual identity. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with what gender I am. It has nothing to do. It's a sexual identity. It's who I like to sleep with. That's why when they always try to say that the pride flag is like just a flag, it's not. It depicts who you want to sleep with. That's the thing. The pride flag is like women want to sleep with women and men want to sleep with men. That's what the flag's for. Every time. It depicts nothing else. And so his conversation isn't even, like, he's not even talking about what the other preacher was talking about, which is annoying. But he's going to keep going.
we have a drastically different understanding of Jesus. Now let's get deeper into how unsmart this foolishness is.
He says, did you not know from the beginning that God created them male and female? This debunks all cultural arguments or bad doctrine in the church that there's any such thing as non-binary gender assignments.
I'm going to address what
It does. Like, it just does. I can dress like a dude all day and I can look like a dude and I'm gender non-conforming. And all that means is just like, I don't dress like a girl. I don't look like a girl. I'm just gender non-conforming. I'm not trying to be a different gender. I'm not trying to whatever. I just dress differently. That's all that means. Like a dude that wants to dress and do drag and do whatever. They're just gender non-conforming. They're not a girl. Whatever. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but he's going to keep going. He's going to keep being mad.
the Bible says at the end of this video. Let's start by defining binary, which simply means something consisting of two parts and no more than two parts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Binary thinking is always either or, never both and. Most
Binary thinking.
That's not what.
That's not the fact of that there is, like, again, that's gender identity. That's binary thinking. Like, they want to think non-binary. That's fine. That's your thoughts. That's not what is actually reality. You can think non-binary all you want. You can do that all you want. But the reality is that it's binary. No, maybe.
Wait, say that again.
Does that make me a gender conformist? Dude, you're hilarious. So he's saying that it's the binary way of thinking, or the non-binary way of thinking. It's the same thing as you can think that you're a boy all you want, but you're not one. You can think it. It can be in your head. Gender identity is what's in your head and what you think.
Mm-hmm.
What's actually happening is your sex, and it's that you're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's binary. There's no way to, like, I can do all the hormones I want and get all the surgeries I want. It doesn't change the fact that I'm a girl. It's binary. He's talking about thinking it. You can think that you're anything. You can think you're a cat. You can think that you're a dog. You can think all kinds of shit. It doesn't make it true. At the end of the day, it's still binary. You can think you're a boy all you want. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
That's just. So he's talking about a thought process. He's not talking about what's actually real.
Yeah, because you can argue this whole idea that two things can be true at the same time. And we've had many conversations about that. But in this specific case,
No,
scientifically,
two things cannot be true.
like, yeah.
No. There's what the documentary of there was 2 years ago where a transgender female, he was a boy, played in a volleyball match, and he spiked a volleyball and it hit a girl in the face, and it literally gave her a brain bleed, broke her eye socket, damaged her like memory, and broke all kinds of shit.
She will need
Assistance. Yeah.
For the rest of her life.
Yeah. She was never able to, she never got the scholarships that she wanted to be able to get because she was never able to do all the things that she was able to do before.
Yeah, Craig, it's pretty sad.
Yeah. It's super sad. And her documentary is coming out soon. And she was scared to talk about it. And the transgender kid who did it, he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, oh my God, your parents taught you didn't do anything wrong? That nothing wrong happened in that scenario? Like, wow. Dude, really? It's sad for that kid. Like, he doesn't even know that he hurt somebody else unfairly. But they want to argue all the time that it's like there's more pronouns. It's just insane for me.
Well, listen, in sports, it goes back to safety first.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, fire Dave for that one too. No. Hey, that podcast last night was awesome. I don't know if you, I'm sure all you guys stayed up for it, but that was so fire. Yeah, dude, that I was happy to see him. I was glad to see him the way, like, he looks good. He sounded good. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. But yeah, so that was annoying as shit. And then also the Caitlin Clark thing to me was annoying as shit too. I don't know if anybody saw that. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to talk about that for a while. And
I mean, the number one thing I'll say is that I'm sad for her that she had to discredit all of the hard work that she has personally done.
Yeah.
To make the statement that she made, and whether she chose to make it on her own or her
that she feels bad that she won that award.
Yeah, like if she,
the athlete of the year,
if
like
she felt a calling to make those statements, or her team pressured her, or her manager pressured her, or somebody pressured her to say that, or whatever. I'm just sad for her and I would say this if she wasn't white.
Yeah.
Like, she worked her ass off and she earned
Every bit of that award.
every bit of that award. And the question I have is that when all of a sudden did an Athlete of the Year award turn into a team winning award?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So that for me is this whole idea that, like, I'm going to change things, or I'm going to say that things should be changed if the narrative doesn't match up to what I believe the narrative should be.
The fact that nobody told her that, even if she did make that statement, even if she did say like, yeah, Craig, right. It's her freaking award.
She earned it.
She earned it. And even someone should have told her that even by coming out and doing what she just did, it was never going to make the league like her. It was never going to make all the Black players like her. It was never.
Someone said that. Someone's
It
like,
was-
who's going to tell her?
Yeah.
Who's going to tell her?
It was never going to make the Black coaches like her. It was never going to make
Yes,
Dawn
kinda.
Staley like her. It was never going to like do any of that. It's not, because it's a fucking political situation. And it's, again, people on the left, people on the right. And the left is never going to be okay with her being Athlete of the Year.
Nope.
Because they want a DEI Athlete of the Year. And she's not one, and she earned it. And she came into the league and she flipped the league around, and she made people give a shit again, and made people talk about the league again, and made people interested. And they're going to be pissed because she's white and she did it. And it's like, who cares? Someone did it. No one else was doing it. Like, my bad. We talking about Caitlin Clark apologizing for her whiteness? Yeah, I'm sick of that. I'm so sick of apologizing I'm so sick of everything just being about race, because 99% of the time it's fucking not. Edging. Oh, God, edging. Just learned what that is, so I'm still having fun with it. By the numbers, I was Salesman of the Year with a company. The award went to a DI, Most Improved. I was like, huh? Yeah. What were you going to... So if they gave it to somebody else, everybody was just going to talk about how it should have went to Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been shit either way.
If
Like,
it was any other
yeah,
player,
it would. Yeah.
think about it. If it was any other player,
What's the other girl's name? I forget. The girl that Caitlin Clark was fighting with the entire time that can't fucking shoot.
does it start with an A?
Oh God, I can't remember her name now. But if it had went to her, and she's a Black girl, if it had went to her, it would have been absolutely ridiculous. But everybody, all of the left would have celebrated it. Like they absolutely would have, even though she was.
Is it Reese?
Yes, Angel Reese.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
like,
you,
I know it
you.
starts with an A.
Yeah. If it had went to Angel Reese or Rookie of the Year, thank you. Yeah, BJ Penn. Yeah. If it had went to Angel Reese, the left would have been fine.
And
And she didn't deserve it. Like,
but think about this for a second. If it went to Angel Reese and she made a similar statement that Caitlin Clark made, people would lose their
Oh my
fucking
God.
mind.
sorry, I'm Black.
They would lose their fucking mind.
Hey, I don't deserve this award because I'm Black. Holy shit.
They would lose their
Yo.
fucking mind.
And I get it. And like, hey, I don't even know what it was, right? Like Caitlin Clark's explosive. She's amazing. She's super fun. She does the whole John Cena shit. Like, yeah, Angel Reese is hot. You're not wrong. She is. That's fire. I'm still waiting. Oh no, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to say that on air, but Caitlin Clark probably will make a certain announcement similar to the way
Shut up.
that
she
Sue
won't.
Bird made that similar announcement. That'll come out later
She
in
will
her ESPN 30 for 30
not.
documentary.
She will not.
Yes, she will. It's fine. She's young. It takes time. It takes time. No labels. But oh shit, I lost where I was going. Okay, so yeah, I know there was like a ton of players that. Okay, now here, what I was going with was, I don't know why it's just now and Caitlin Clark that made it so like, let's talk about the WNBA. Maybe we were just ready for it, or maybe it was the race thing that made it so we wanted to talk about it. I don't know. She was so good, and then because she's white and it's the race thing that everybody wants to talk about, maybe that combined made it so crazy in the media that she became such a spark in the media for everybody to want to watch.
It immediately?
Yeah, dude.
The
I mean,
race thing went immediately?
Yeah, it was when she was in college. The race thing
Oh.
started when she was in college. The Angel Reese thing and her started in college.
Mm.
Yeah, Craig played. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of everything. I think it was just the political climate in the country, the fact that she was white, the fact that she was drawing ratings, that she was getting noticed. It was kind of like a perfect timing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're a WNBA player, who gives a fuck? Like, people are talking about the WNBA, people are watching it, people are going to the games, people are like, reporters are reporting about it. So what? Who cares?
She earned it.
And she did.
She deserved it.
She did earn that award. I don't give a shit what anybody else says about
deserves
that. Anything? Oh, this one's crazy.
Okay.
Last one. She's also very all-American. What do you mean by that, though? Like Iowa kind of cornfields, Huskers, Alabama sort of situation. Like a
Or does he mean all-American?
all-American white girl, all-American.
I was gonna say isn't.
Oh, conservative. Craig Paisley, yes. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I think it was a time period. I just think that if you're.
It still is. Like
Yeah.
the world is hot right now.
Yeah.
Like it's just hot. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you move. Like everybody's getting burned. Everybody, like everything is a hot topic. Everything is heightened. Everything is triggering. Like we're just in that world right now. So it absolutely makes sense that this would turn into another hot topic, and let's make it as hot and as.
I mean, she's like the female Larry Bird. Like, she's the white girl that comes in that can play basketball to, whatever. And all the black players are like, let's fuck her up. I mean, they did the same shit to Larry Bird. They did,
And
he was fine.
Still good.
I mean, he had a broken ass back, but the great white hope.
he had a broken ass back.
Fair. Yeah.
You had one more thing.
Oh yeah. Last one. This was kind of nuts. If French licked Terry Hout to the NBA. Oh yeah, French Lick. Yeah, he was from French Lick. That's right. Larry Bird was from. Yep.
Listen, Kenneth, she's had me watch some old basketball clips, and they were intense.
Yeah, you watched the 30 for 30s.
Yeah.
From the Lakers.
I felt like they were
Celtics.
more gonna be like in a boxing match.
The
or
hick
something.
from French Lick. Yeah. Fair. Yep, that was fire.
I mean, they pushed and tripped and
Elbowed.
elbowed
It was
and
amazing with the Jordan rules. Like, that shit was awesome. It was fire. Then you had the bad boys from Detroit. Like, those were good old days. Trash talk is epic. Yeah, and I think that's what they kind of brought back this year too. I think females, the WNBA kind of brought back trash talk. I wasn't mad at some of those press conferences that happened during her first season. I definitely wasn't mad at it. I like it. Let's go. This is one fatigue. Your child came out as transgender at 1.5 years old. I don't remember anything I was doing at 1.5 or 2 years old.
Nope.
Probably can say I have some faint memories at 5, but really don't start remembering like memories until like 7. 6.5,
Right.
7, like
right.
first, second grade. Like, I remember my teachers, I
Yeah.
remember my friends, that sort of thing. But
yeah, And if I grew up the same exact way that I did when I did now, the world would try to say that I am trans, I'm questioning, and that my mother is part of the problem.
Mhm.
Because I grew up wearing my older brother's hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
My mother would put me in dresses sometimes, but 95% of the time I was in sweatsuits running around outside with my brother and all the other kids that my mom used to babysit. She had a daycare center.
Yeah.
She had a daycare out of our house. And I was outside in sweatsuits looking like a boy, but not, I was a little girl in hand-me-downs outside playing. I was on the street playing street hockey with the boys.
Yeah.
And we would play kickball and baseball and all these type of things and whatever. And it's like, why can't kids just be kids?
No, they have to do this because this is what we're telling parents to do right now. Which is why I can't wait for Daddy Trump.
There's no value.
Oh yeah, to come back.
Did you to come out here today?
We're supporting our child, Violet, and her access to the medical care that she needs.
Yeah, we're here for her rights and her ability to be who she is. And she's not going to let anybody silence her, and we're not going to stand in her way.
What state are you from?
Arizona.
Okay. Are you concerned about how this case would affect Arizona, or do you think that would have an impact there?
Yes, 100% we're concerned. And we've discussed having to move, which we don't want to do. But Violet comes first, and her medical care and her medical needs come first. So we'll see what happens.
And what age do you think most trans kids determine that they're trans?
Violet told us when she was 1.5.
No, she didn't. Stop lying. No, she didn't tell you that when she was 1.5. Get out of here. What did your kids tell y'all when they were 1.5? Cheerios?
What did Beatty tell us at 1.5?
Cheerios?
More?
Like, I'm thirsty? Potty? Like,
Paw Patrol?
when she said
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
we're here to represent her voice, bitch, she doesn't have a voice yet. She like what? She doesn't.
Same. CK?
Yeah. What voice? What
Crying
voice
for
are you?
food.
You're there marching for you. As a parent, you are there marching for you. You are there to signal that you are friends with LGBTQ because you probably have a friend that's like, you should go fucking march. But you're not there for your kid. Your kid didn't tell you shit. Your 1.5-year-old did not tell you one fucking thing about their gender identity. Like, get out of here. Come on. You got to be kidding me. I knew when I was 2, like, you don't know shit when you're 2. You don't know shit when you're 5. Oh my God, I didn't know shit when I was 18 either, but I faked my way. That's about the time where you fake it till you make it. Like, we're here for her voice. Okay, lady. Yeah, you're here for her. No, you're there for you. That's all about you. It has nothing to do with your 1.5-year-old at all, or your 2-year-old. Absolutely nothing. Social credit score, baby. Yeah.
Kenneth.
Absolutely fucking nothing to do with the parent or to do with the kid. Because you see, it's the parents on there talking. If the kid wanted to say something, put the kid on the microphone if she can tell you. I just can't. I just can't. I voted the way I voted. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
I still think that there needs to be safety protocols for
Yeah. I mean,
for transitions, and I don't believe that children should be transitioned.
All of this shit happens because they're afraid that parents will be mad if their kid is gay or comes out as trans or whatever. And so all of this marching and shit has happened because of some shit that happened like on a broader scale in the 80s and 90s. and 70s. I get that. I understand that. And I'm sure that there are some parents out there right now that if they found out their kid was gay, they would throw them the fuck out the house. That's
Yes.
going to happen.
Still to this day.
Yes. And there are people
Mhm.
out there that are still racist. It's going
Still
to happen.
this day. Yeah.
It-
Mhm. And they will teach their children, and then they will teach their children, and they will and they will continue.
But to
They will continue the generational cycle of
it's
thinking, being, living, and all this type of stuff. And that is like the nail on the head for me when I say the only thing that I can do is change the narrative.
But to combat that by taking a 1.5-year-old and teaching her whatever that she can be transgender and dragging her out to these marches and doing all this shit and being like, I'm fighting for my right for my 1.5-year-old to be able to cut her breasts off and whatever when she's 15. So that's the answer to some people might not like their kids being gay. That's fucking worse than pray away the gay. I'd rather pray away the gay scenario than throwing little kids on hormone blockers and cutting their genitals off.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like what? Edging. I still edging. The mom was probably diddled by Uncle Joe at some point. Probably something happened. Or she's just, or if she had a boyfriend that she loved to death and then he ended up being gay. So now she's pro-gay, everything, some shit to get him back. I wonder how much of this is related to kid and teen school bullying and suicide. I'm sure it is because I am sure it happens. It's not like I'm not aware of the movie Boys Don't Cry when that came out. Of course, that movie meant something to me at the time. I saw the movie Kids. That scared the shit out of me. If you remember that in 1995, that was fucking scary. You saw like If These Walls Could Talk. That was fucking scary for us too. And so they did all this shit to scare us. It's like your parents are bad. They're never going to accept you. They're never going to love you. Your friends are not going to like you. And now we have this shit where now like parents have to prove that they love their kid by allowing them to give them fucking medicine and chop their shit off. Like not like that was not it. Hey, maybe just don't kick your kid out of your house if they come to you. Maybe take them to counseling or talk to them about it or move with them or whatever. Hey, if your kid does get molested or diddled or whatever, maybe just, again, counseling, talk about it. It's Kids was crazy, Craig. That movie was fucking crazy. The 90s were fuzzy for me, just saying. Fair. 90s were a good time. But yeah, I don't see where we have to go from
0 to 100.
That
is my statement. Why are we going from 0 to 100 like that? I don't understand. I think in situations like this, we need to take into account every single person that's in that kid's life. And so the kid needs to go to counseling. The parents need to go to counseling, individual counseling, as well as family counseling. And I think that it needs to be for a long time. And I think that the information needs to be given in its entirety as to what actually happens when you go through with a transition.
Yeah.
And because
dude, it's not pretty, dude.
You hear many stories, and you also hear the girls and boys that have gone through transitions that are now realizing that the very people that told them that their parents didn't love them and that it was like the other people, the doctors and whatever, that they were the ones that loved them. But what happens? They love them to the operating room. And then they leave them after. The story that I think it was the girl that went on Candace Owens or whatever. She went back to her doctor and the doctor stopped answering her phone calls.
Yeah, because they didn't want a bad result. They didn't want someone to
Right.
detransition.
Right.
Transitioning is fixing everything.
So everybody love bombs you until the surgery,
Yeah.
but then who's there to actually help you? Like, am I saying that the surgery is not a big event? Of course not. It's huge. But what about the recovery process after that? Who's there for that? And then when they start realizing what happens and experiencing all of that and having all of these feelings, like most of these stories that you
Yeah.
hear, what do they always say? Well, I don't have anybody. The doctors are nowhere to be found. They've lost friends, they've lost family, they've lost all these people that that loved bombed them and supported them through all of this. And you hear a lot of them that say, "Listen, I wish my parents like protected me more."
Yeah. Well,
Even if I could be angry at my parents, and I would have been angry at my parents because they didn't let me, but at least they tried and continue to try.
the original Steve Miller. It is easy to say yes all the time. Saying no is the hard thing, and people don't like hard. Yeah, like my story in high school, the short version of it is, I was figuring it out. I was with this one girl. I loved her. High school love, the way that you love in high school, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just this we're girls, so the emotional relationship is insane. Like it's not really physical, it's emotional, and you're just in love with each other and whatever. And her mom found out that we were together or that we liked each other in a non-traditional sort of way, and she wasn't allowed to hang out with me anymore. Like we couldn't have sleepovers. I think we were sophomores, yeah.
Mhm.
And we couldn't hang out anymore, and we weren't allowed to see each other unless we were in school, and we weren't in the same classes or anything. So that was hard. And at the time we were so pissed, right? Like mom sucks. Mom's a horrible, awful person for that.
Mhm.
Because we're kids, we know better, we love each other, we want to be together, whatever, fuck the hierarchy.
Mhm.
But no, you know what? Her mom had every right to be like, I don't like this situation. I don't like this scenario. My kid is 14, 15 years old.
Mhm.
Who knows what's going to happen in the next 6 years? Like, no, I'm not allowing this to happen. It's not like she threw her out of her house, or she was just like, you cannot go hang out with Garrett.
Mhm.
And of course I was mad at the time, but now that I sit home and think about it, she made the best choice that she could
Or she thought was the right choice.
and was the right choice for her kid. And she wasn't wrong for that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, and we talk about this too. Like,
even say we were straight kids, do you want your daughter sleeping over her boyfriend's house at 15 years old? No,
mhm,
absolutely fucking not.
mhm.
Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, y'all can't hang out.
I ain't sleeping at nobody's house
Right.
at fucking 15 years old. Absolutely not.
So,
Yeah, the original Steve. Yeah.
editing puppy love. Yeah, that's exactly. Yep. Original Steve Miller. Oh, Steve Miller band. That was amazing. That's also great. 90s. The same kids will blame those same parents in 20, 30 years. Are you talking about the kids now that are like transitioning or detransitioning and realizing that that's wrong? I don't think so. I do think that the narrative that's coming out now about how the fact that doctors scared the shit out of parents was a real thing. There's a lot of detransitioners that say that they completely understand, like, hey, those doctors said you can have a dead daughter or an alive son, and scared the shit out of those parents. And these kids do understand that. I think these kids do understand that. So I mean,
But I mean,
I hope they don't lose their parents because of this. Like, that would fucking suck.
listen, all I'm
But-
saying is that
Adults are making or at least the medical community is making bad fucking decisions for these kids right now. And it's horrible.
mhm,
Why didn't you stop me from doing that? Yeah, we've seen a lot of that. We've read a lot of it. I know you have too, babe. But that one girl that's very, yeah, of course you wish your parents would have stopped you. But I think this last 5 years of parents didn't know. I think this coming this next 5 years of parents will now see it and now know. And I think it will be just this last like 5 to 7 years of parents
Well,
that
and I think that it goes, I think also too, it's this, you're still trying. Whereas some of these parents from these stories, and again, we're paraphrasing because they're other people's
Yeah.
stories, that the parents just agreed.
Yeah.
They just, it was the one meeting with the counselor, everybody, this is what, the child said, so we're going to sign off right away. There was no, there were no more steps than that. It literally was like, this is what my child said, this is what we're going to do, sign for the drugs, got it, cool. Then this is what we're going to do, sign for the surgery, okay, got it. I think what they're saying is that it's the parents that question, it's the parents that fight to slow down the process. But we're dealing with it in some states that if a parent doesn't affirm, that parents could lose custody of their child.
that's the scary part.
So that's also the scary part too, that we're navigating as parents, is with all of this legislation being put into play, there's a very fine line of parenting and following the law. Like, these are laws that are put into place. So that, as a parent, and that's our biggest voice, is it's scary that we might lose our parental freedoms and our parental rights.
Which is why a lot of them probably affirmed their kids' gender, was because they were afraid that they were going to lose their kids. Like,
right.
the fight for the people that have that were like, no, we're not affirming our kids' gender. There were some big fights out there about that, them losing their kids or getting their kids back. Like, I think that was another thing that the government used to scare parents into just letting their kids
It's also
get
really
affirmed.
yeah.
And it's
really,
those parents really believe that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's really sad for me to believe that people think it's okay for the government to take children away from really good parents because they don't agree with harming their child.
Yeah.
That is what I feel like the narrative is. And it's just very sad to me that really good parents are losing custody of their children because of this. And, I know people like to say, well, that's not happening. But it is.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Yeah.
Parents do the best they can. And I think as children, I think that we always are going to wish that our parents did more, wish that our parents accepted us more.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out shit too, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know about this beforehand. Like, before 2020
No.
and 2021.
We weren't paying attention.
Yeah, we weren't paying attention.
We were not paying attention. And honestly, like, when Caitlyn Jenner got on the cover or whatever, I was like, cool.
Yeah, me fucking
Awesome.
too.
Awesome.
Now I'm like, wait.
I was like, she's living her truth and whatever. And now I'm like, oh, wait, I missed that.
No,
I missed.
No, woman of the year is for a woman. Like,
right.
Ovaries and a uterus and a vagina. Like, all those things. So.
But my point being is that, like, I wish that when I came out, that my mother, that my family were more accepting from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I can say that till I'm blue in the face. And did it cause a lot of issues in my relationships with my family members? Yeah. Do you still kind of feel it sometimes? Yeah. Do you have some feelings about that? Yeah. And I probably always will, because I wish that they accepted me 100% from the beginning. But I'm also learning too that people do the best they can with what they got.
Yeah.
And in a world that is so divided, every person that truly loves you, I believe, tries to protect you in the best way that they can. Is it always right? No, it's not. I still was going to make the decision that I made, and I'm happy that I made the decision that I made, 13 years later
Yeah.
being with you and everything like that. But
Hey, if you're bisexual
oh geez.
and you end up with a woman and you're faithfully with a woman forever, does that make you gay or are you still bisexual?
Welcome.
What did you say to me? You're like,
Oh Jesus.
okay, I won't do it to you right now. Bruce Jenner had me fucked up, dude. There was a lot of like emotions when all of the Bruce Jenner, because then when Bruce Jenner said that when he became a girl, kind of, sort of, not really, but said that he is not gay, I was like, wait, you're with a woman, you say you are a woman, how are you not gay? So then that fucked me up. So then I went down a bunch of rabbit holes after that. But yeah, that was our rant for tonight. We had seen enough this week, and
I'm just tired, and I
we're
think,
fatigued, super fatigued.
but I think big picture, I think it's really sad, and I'm seeing that a lot of people feel that way, and a lot of people have stopped listening. A lot of people are uninterested to actually have conversations where people are going to yell and blame and point the finger and all of this type of stuff. And I think that most of us just want to do it differently. If you want to have a conversation with me and sit down and have a conversation with me, I'm all about it. How can I help you specifically?
Figure this
one-to-one.
out. Yeah, we can
Like,
do this.
how can I support you specifically, one-to-one? Because I can't, if I spend my life trying to please everybody,
Yeah, you're not gonna.
you can't. You know what I mean? And so again, I can only control what I can control, and I am only responsible for myself and my child.
Yeah, right. Yeah, seriously. I like I said when we voted originally, like, hey, I'm out here voting for the core. Like, you know what I mean?
My kid. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't not vote for shit that is gonna help my child.
Yeah.
Original Stephen Miller, glitting things greater than unwatchable NFL. Dude, I feel the same way. Like, the Giants are killing me. I just am not even.
Don't worry, our son will give us the
Yeah,
play-by-play.
yeah. So it's just, yeah, I hear you. I don't know who you're a fan of, but I'm sure I'm gonna get shit later because the Eagles probably won. I don't know. They were kind of whatever, but Craig, is this your last show before Christmas? I don't know. We might jump on. There's some feelers. People are figuring stuff out before Christmas. Who has time when they have time? So we might have another one. I'm not sure. I'll put it up as early as I possibly can if we do.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we probably
But if
will.
not,
Happy holidays, Craig.
everybody.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody. If we don't see you, but I'm sure we probably will. Hope you guys.
Knowing my wife, we will.
Yeah, because then she's
once
gonna
I
go
get past
towards the end of the week.
once
You're
I get
going
rid of
away.
this cough, I'm gonna go upstate and see family. So
Yeah. It should
and
be-
she might do one because
I've never tried to do a show
She's
by
gonna
myself.
need a babysitter, so
But
encourage her to do it. I think it'll be fun.
If the chat, if you guys are in the chat, I'll do it because I can talk to you guys in the chat. But
Listen, Kenneth will be here with
oh
you.
yeah, I'll just talk to Kenneth.
Kenneth
That's fine.
will be here, no problem.
So maybe I'll try one by myself
You should
and see what happens.
I think it'll be cool, and I'll be in the chat too.
Why not?
Because the Wi-Fi is not that great, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I know last time I went up there in the summer, I was like on the street walking back and forth.
Yeah,
and
it was
you had
funny.
to keep muting me.
It was
but
still a good
it's-
time though.
It's way too cold for that shit. But yeah, baby, you should do it by yourself. That'd be fun.
Oh my god, talk about some shit I probably shouldn't talk about if you're not here to like wrangle me in. But it's
No,
fine.
that's all right. You'll be good.
But yeah, guys, have a great night. If you're watching the late games tonight, have fun. I can't wait to talk shit. I'm gonna watch the Cowboys game just because I want to see how they do against the Bucks. But other than that, happy holidays, everybody.
Thanks
Love
for
y'all.
hanging
Thanks
with
for
us.
hanging out with us.
Bye.
Deuces.